fun, so I often get new players asking me how to make friends in Final Fantasy XIV, because if you recall, in my video about why I left WoW for 14, one of the main reasons was because in WoW, I felt really isolated and alone. And one of the things that keeps me playing and engaged in 14, besides the amazing content, is other players and my connections to my friends that I've met through the game. But when I started, I didn't know anybody. Well, I had like one friend. Okay, to be fair, I had one friend. So I want to give some practical advice and maybe a bit of social / life advice near the end of this video, just kind of steering you in the right direction if you feel kind of lost and not sure where to even start with making friends and meeting new people and keeping friends, of course. For the practical advice, how to actually find people at all. Now, I'm going to be giving some of this advice as if you are brand new to maybe even gaming. I don't know where everybody's coming from, so we're going to start at you being completely lost and confused. When I first started, I had no idea what a big deal Discord was. Like, Final Fantasy XIV players love Discord. So if you feel like there's just not a lot of FC recruitment going on in shout trap, it's probably all happening on Discord. So get yourself a free account. It doesn't cost, you don't have to pay any money to use Discord. And it's a great way to network with other players, especially those who might share some of your niche interests. If you're coming from World of Warcraft, you might be used to using a website like Icy Veins to get to know your job rotation and things like that. But in Final Fantasy XIV, we tend to use the Balanced Discord. I've been relying on that quite a bit for learning new jobs, learning about crafting and all kinds of stuff. It's also got a really handy server directory where they have a list of links for all of the different Discord servers. So that's how you can find your local data center server, maybe your specific interest servers, like for fishing or for PvP or for any kinds of content like that you might be into, like Blue Mage stuff. It's all there. I also have on my server, my Discord server, a server directory where you can find the links. Any other 14 streamer or content creator, like we all have our Discord servers where you can come in and meet other fans of our content. So that's a great way to meet people who might share some of your interests too. Sometimes FCs will recruit on Party Finder, but again, I still think that Discord is a better and more convenient place to recruit, because I mean, you can check it when you're at work. Actually, maybe you should not be checking Discord at work. Don't listen to me. That's bad advice. Next thing, don't be afraid to walk up to random strangers in game and say something to them. If you see someone who catches your eye, who might have a really cool outfit on or a cool title, or their character looks really neat or something like that, you can just send them a message and just say, hi, where did you get that title? Or, hey, your character looks really cool. Or, hey, what is that minion? Where did you find it? Most players will be more than happy to talk about that with you. And especially if you have something nice to say that you mean, then they'll be flattered and even more willing to talk to you. I mean, we are all mostly standing around in our glamour that we spent a lot of time acquiring and putting together, waiting for somebody to tell us that they like it. Let's be real. That's kind of the purpose of glamour. Just send short messages to people. And if they're friendly, they might start talking to you. And if you like talking to them, ask them if you can send them a friend request. Now, I do realize that although 14 has a very friendly community overall, you know, this is still real life, and there's a chance that someone might be in a bad mood and they might say like a mean thing, but I mean, this is life. You gotta put yourself out there. Don't be afraid. Most of the time, I bet that people will be very happy to talk about their mounts that they're on, or their other choices that they've made, like titles and things like that. Another place where you can meet people, where people are openly, explicitly inviting you, that a lot of people may not think about, is actually the housing districts. If you go to the residential ward selection screen, you will see a list of like player names and free company names there, and the ones that are in green are unlocked so that you can go inside those houses and explore. But you might want to especially keep your eye out for the ones that are green, and also have a little message book symbol, because the message book means that you can write a message in there. Basically, they're saying, yes, I would like you to come into my house and write a message about what you think of the house. And a lot of them also have like very inviting messages like, hey, why don't you come in for some hot cocoa? Or why don't you come and make yourself comfortable? And just, you'll see a lot of those like that. These are people that have spent a lot of time usually making their house look really cozy and comfortable in a nice place, and they're inviting in anybody who wants to come and check it out. So this can be a way that you find free companies that you might like, or meet people that you might like talking to. It's a really nice feature of 14, and maybe one of the arguments in favor of not having the instance housing, but that's a discussion for another day. So to recap, Discord, very good. Talking to strangers, basically going into their houses if they seem very inviting in the message, and checking Shout Chat, of course. Sometimes people post FC recruitment on Shout Chat, and of course there's Party Finder. Now here's the thing with Party Finder, you will often see people that put up a Party Finder message, and the message will say something like, oh, it's my first time, I need some help. Or I'm trying to get through the story, I need some help. That's a really good way to make some friends. After you help them through the dungeon, you can say, hey, if you need help with anything else, I'm here. And so just by continually helping the person get through the story dungeons and stuff, you're already building a relationship. There you go. You have made a friend. You've made a good friend. So that's the basic practical advice, but I want to get into some of the more social considerations that go along with the sometimes scary world that is human and interpersonal relationships. Like everyone knows that's an extremely complicated frontier, but there's just a few things that you should keep in mind when interacting with other players and joining communities. First of all, you should always be patient. Always be patient, and don't be clingy with people that you are helping or who are helping you. If someone cannot be there for you at that specific moment, you need to exercise patience, take a step back, and just say, okay, if they're not working for you, they're not on the clock or anything. We're all playing a game, and everything we do is voluntary. If someone consistently cannot do stuff with you, don't get mad at them for that. They probably have some other reason that doesn't involve you. So just be compassionate with them, be understanding, and using the methods that I've already said, go out and find some new friends that might be more available for you. So that's the first thing. Be patient, and be understanding. Don't assume that if someone is not available, it's your fault. If a friend group isn't working, find a new one. If you are in a friend group or in a little community where you feel mistreated, you feel people are angry with you all the time, people make you feel worse about yourself, you don't need to tolerate that. You deserve better. You deserve to be treated with kindness. And if people are consistently rude to you, that's a big red flag that it's time to get out of that today, not tomorrow, not the next day. Leave today and make new friends, find new avenues and new communities. There are a lot out there, and there's absolutely no reason for you to suffer. You're not trapped. There is a way out. Just leave. Just block people that are rude to you and find new communities. Now, this one might not be an easy one to hear, but sometimes it's not the group that's the problem. Sometimes the problem is you. If you've seen a pattern in your life where you are consistently bouncing from group to group to group and being ostracized or kicked out or group to group to group and constantly being blacklisted by people and reported and stuff, like, maybe it's time to look inward and work on yourself. If you don't have a lot going on in your life besides Final Fantasy XIV, the game can sometimes develop into something unhealthy for you. You should have some kind of a constructive hobby outside of Final Fantasy XIV so that you don't end up leaning on it and leaning on the people inside the game for your mental well-being. It can be tempting to procrastinate on self-improvement and put all of your energy into a game like Final Fantasy XIV, but you're only hurting yourself in the long run and hurting others in the process. If you see a pattern where you notice that you are not able to maintain friendships and relationships, and if you have this problem in game, I'm sure that is probably extending to your real life, seek professional help. Don't be afraid to go seek professional help and talk to someone about this. You can work through this. You do deserve to have friends and keep friends, and you need to find out what is going on so that you can solve the problem. Maybe you already have a friend, but lately they seem a little bit more aloof. They seem more angry or something is wrong. Don't assume automatically that it's about you. People are fighting many, many battles that we know nothing about. And so if you notice that a friend is a little quiet, a little bit not their usual self, sometimes just reaching out and saying, hey, I'm here if you need someone to listen. Sometimes that can help more than anything else. Just knowing that someone is there, that cares, that you can be giving someone a really wonderful gift by just being there for them. And most of all, be kind. Be kind. That seems obvious, but it's something that can be easy to forget. Be positive. I've done a video about fake positivity, so I don't encourage you to be fake positive, but what I try to do is see the positive in every situation, not get even in a bad situation, I try to see the silver lining on it and point that out to people. If things are going terribly, I try to make a joke or laugh about some aspect of it to keep morale up for everybody. And also, if you have an issue or you're getting tilted, it's okay to just stand up, walk away, take a breather, maybe distance yourself a little bit before coming back. Well, anyway, I hope this video was helpful to some of you. And if you have thought of other ways to help people socially or other ways to meet people in 14 that I haven't mentioned, please feel free to put that in the comments section down below. I really appreciate you watching, and also want to thank all of my Patreon supporters and all the Twitch supporters with your Twitch subs, my benefactors on Twitch and Patreon. Thank you so much for all you do. This can be a bit of a rough time for YouTubers of all across the board. After Christmas, things tend to the support tends to die down a bit. So those of you who are supporting right now, you're awesome. I really appreciate it. Anyway, that's all for today. Thanks again for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye.